Hello dear real-time strategy and Dawn of War friends. Today we want to present you with my son Velanek an interesting harassment-based strategy we found on one Dawn of War Soulstorm website, which is cited in the video description below. A suitable map for this is Battle Marshes, because of its size and layout. Open maps in general seem better for this specific Space Marine strategy. The general approach here is to downplay brute force in our army at start to make our army more mobile. Build order presented is a bit less intuitive this time. We queue one servitor first, then 3 scout squads at the headquarters. Servitor we already have at our disposal builds chapel barracks. When the second servitor is done, he helps him unless the barracks is on 50% completion. Then one of them starts armory and the other one finishes barracks. Then both of them speed build the armory to unlock assault marine production. In the meantime, scouts must be active on the map to capture strategic points. We prioritize first strike against our opponent, so we need enough units. Fortunately, starting resources allow us to start assault marine squads immediately when armory is ready. I believe it is reasonable to postpone listening post-construction to make also the second assault marine squad on time and force commander just after. We are playing this against standard Eldar artificial intelligence. This build seems to be quite players' attention resources intensive, so we don't want to mess it up or make this video too long. One scout squad here is capturing the strategic point, the other just tries to distract the enemy guardian squad to buy time for their colleagues. When the task is done, the scouts run to safety. Assault marines are used for economical harassment primarily in this build, so they should prioritize economical targets like listening posts and generators. They excel in hit and run tactics because of their speed and jetpack leaps. In this game we encountered enemy guardian squad, so we decided to eliminate it first, even though we deviated from economical harassment focus. Guardians can be overwhelmed quickly, so we didn't waste too much time. Enemy hero is a different case. No need to waste assault marines' lives and time here. We want to bypass this Eldar Farseer, and if we force her to return back home for her base defense, that's even better. Jetpacks are used to disengage and to force the opponent to tie some forces at home. Here another squad of assault space marine is bypassing the enemy to attack the main base, and we are also saving the rest of the scout squad. We can also review our production sequence now. Scouts, assault marines, force commander and tactical space marines. As you can see, the brute force bulk of the army is built later. Economical improvements are secondary but important. Why secondary? Our plan is to damage and even cripple enemy's economy, so even our low level of initial economic development can be more than enough, especially if the opponent is not able to meaningfully damage us. Generator placed on time is crucial to allow our army's power curve to grow. Upgrades require power resource, and we need upgrades for our infantry army to be impactful. You can compare the effect of Space Marines army attack at the enemy base and Eldar counterattack. Of course, the artificial intelligence doesn't seem to spread their forces in ideal way. Anyway, the level of disruption caused by this assault space marine strategy can grow with enhanced multitasking even more. It seems the game is already reaching culmination point. after which some form of advantage sooner or later snowballs into victory. Assault Marines are not very fragile, and they can hold their ground against a variety of units. Anyway, I don't recommend this type of strategy against some factions which are defense specialists, for example like Imperial Guardsmen. At this point we are already swarming Eldar's base, so probably we did the most important part of this video. Anyway, we want to continue a bit more to describe some further technological progression and army composition tips. Important question is what to upgrade at the armory. In this case, we want to make a really strong 1.5 tier army. At first we upgrade Plasma Pistol to replace the bolter of the Force Commander with more impactful weapon. We also use Tier 1 Bionics and Target Finders to improve Space Marine squads. Power Swords should be also researched. Tactical Marine squads will utilize Flamers, which are also very useful for some scout squads. In this case, they can break morale of the enemies and therefore waste some of enemy damage per second. Slightly before, we saw our attacking army and trapped enemy worker. It always helps. By the way, this strategy, at least remotely, reminds us of the Reaper rushes in Starcraft 2. Enemy seems overwhelmed at this point. The mobility of Space Marines forces ensure the minimal battle losses, which was apparently not the case of the enemy's army, which was spread too thin. The Eldar are apparently fighting against the odds now, even though their Farseer is leading their forces. Space Marines were too much able to preserve their manpower during previous fights. Their mobility helped them to choose advantageous encounters. This part of real-time strategy games, where the flexion point is already over, is sometimes criticized because the player with the advantage just has to clean the rest of enemy forces and the result is already known. Anyway, in harassment-based clashes, it is sometimes hard to evaluate the position correctly, so let's play on. And let's show some technological follow-up. A frag grenade upgrade in the chapel barracks can be used as mental trigger to start with Tier 2 upgrade. As you can see, we enhance infantry force with many upgrades. Tier 1.5, that means with armory, Space Marines have a lot of pushing power. We can have some space here to discuss the variation of the strategy. There exists a possibility not to even bother with Force Commander at Tier 1 and also not to bother so much with Tactical Space Marine squads. In this variation, we are also not enhancing so many Scout squads with Flamers. Tier 2 is apparently meant to be reached sooner in this variation. Then the player prioritizes Machine Cult to build Land Speeders and or Land Speeder Tempests to abuse mobility even more. Chaplain then provides more of the brute force. Anyway, variation described here can be preferred by beginning player because it is not so much based on just harassment type of units, and it quickly trespasses into more traditional infantry style. And as we can know, from our previous Space Marines video guide. Tactical Space Marine squads are both versatile and strong. So, in the variation described in this video, we'll also prioritize Machine Cult at Tier 2 to produce mainly Rhino transports and also feared Dreadnought Walkers. From the Chapel Barracks, Melta Bomb upgrade should be researched very soon to improve Assault Marine raid efficiency to quickly dispatch generators and their battle strength against vehicles. Our mainly infantry force should be upgraded by Tier 2 bionics and target finders from the armory also. As we saw in this video, this tech pass is not always necessary because sometimes we can destroy our opponent early with combined infantry army of the first or the 1.5 tier. Anyway, it is always useful to have some idea about the follow-up. So we officially won this and thank you very much for watching. Leave some comments below and have a nice summer. Bye for now.